Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today, with the year coming to an end, I am here to talk about the top 10 re-released 4Ks of the year. Now, these are movies that have already been released in 4K, but came out with new editions this year, and there are some really great ones out there. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so top 10 re-released 4Ks of the year. Now, I have been working on my list of the top 4Ks of the second half of the year from July through the end of December. Still waiting on a couple to come in to evaluate them. And I'm going to do that list. And then probably for like January the 1st, I'm going to do my top 25 4Ks of 2024. But until then, I thought, I was doing this. I'm like, I feel like the re-releases deserve their own category. Now, some of these might be the exact same transfer, and nothing has changed except for packaging or something like that. Some of them might have had HDR 10 added or Dolby Vision added to them, or maybe they're on a bigger disc size, so the compression is better, but they're still the same transfer. So I felt like these deserved a class of to themselves and shouldn't be ranked with the ones that came out for the first time this year. That being said, there are some pretty damn good movies here, and I'm going to jump right into the list. We've got 10 here, and coming in at number 10 is Oppenheimer. This is the UK release of this. This came from Zavi, and this thing is awesome. I'm grading these by, the quality of the 4K, how much I like the movie, how good it looks in 4K, the packaging, all of it. So some of it is objective, some of it is subjective. This thing is awesome. This is actually embossed right here on this steelbook. This is a really good movie. Of course, it's gonna take you some time to sit down and watch it, but the 4K on this looks amazing. And this set just kind of adds to it. There was already a standard 4K that had been out, but you got all kinds of stuff here. You got the booklet, you got art cards, you've got a fold-out poster. It just adds to it the prestige of the release. And I consider that a re-release, but it was like right on the heels of the other. So that's kind of why it comes in down here at number 10. But 7 Academy Awards, kind of hard to argue with that. A really great release this year and a re-release. So Oppenheimer comes in at number 10. At number 9 on our list is one that I just got and watched. Now, I had never seen the initial studio 4K for this film, but I picked this up on the Criterion sale. I am talking about The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro. This is a director-approved 4K. Like I said, this already had a studio 4K. So this is a re-release by Criterion. They're putting out a lot of Guillermo del Toro stuff. It looks incredible. I mean, it does. Is this my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie? No. But it's almost like his take on Creature from the Black Lagoon. I like the movie. It's kind of weird. There's like fish sex or whatever. But it is kind of a little bit of a fairy tale to it, which his movies kind of lean that way. And I think it is a quality release. I like to see Criterion putting out stuff like this. So nice release. Picked it up on in November. Got it for $24.99. So can't complain. That was actually less than the Studio 4K that was already out there. So add it to my Criterion collection. The Shape of Water re-release on 4K comes in at number 9. At number 8 on my list is an all-time classic film. I was somebody that kind of leaked this news on this one way early and kind of got Orbit in a little hot water. They had to pull it back off of their site because it wasn't supposed to be up there yet. So that was me because I was so excited about this. I'm talking about The Wizard of Oz. This already had a 4K, but this set here for the 85th anniversary edition is incredible. Again, this is an embossed steelbook. Great release here. The Wizard of Oz is like made for 4K. The colors in it just vibrate off of the screen. And a lot of these I haven't done standalone 4K reviews for. If you're interested, maybe I could do that for some of these. It comes with all the extra bells and whistles. That elevates it a little bit. It's not a numbered edition, so it wasn't as super limited. This box is embossed as well. But I think it's sort of like the definitive edition, at least for now, until they do like the 100-year anniversary. But the Wizard of Oz 4K, this is a super cool. Now, there's a domestic version of this too. I think you can still get it with Groove, but I jumped on this so early. I got this version, and I love it. And it comes in at number 10, 9, number 8 on my list. At number 7 on my list was one that I could not wait to get. It is one of my favorite horror movies of this year, right? It came out this year to start with. But it had other 4K releases before this 4K release. I think Cape Light, several others had done a 4K release of this already. It had a bunch of Blu-ray releases. It was being released all over the place. But Second Sight did Late Night with the Devil. I love this movie. I think it's really good. I love how they shot it. It's a mix of new digital cameras, old television set cameras, camera film, 35 millimeter black and white camera film stock, all kinds of stuff going on in this. Of course, Second Sight does a great job with their stuff. Not the craziest about these paper fold out. I wish they just went with a standard plastic case in their sets. So I'm not that crazy about these. They're very easy to get dinged, bent, and damaged. I like the plastic case inside the big set, but got the big booklet with it, all that stuff going on. It's not higher because there are others that just came out right there with it. And when I did the side-by-side comparison of the Blu-ray that's in here, man, it is there. It's a great 4K, but it is so close to the 4K transfer that they put on the Blu-ray. It doesn't like take a leap and bound over the Blu-ray. So it's a little bit lower, but it's an incredible release and one of my favorite horror movies this year. I really like this movie. The ending is kind of a little bit, but I really do like this movie. The ride, the juice is definitely worth the squeeze there. Great set by Second Sight. Late Night with the Devil comes in at 10, 9, 8 at number 7 on the list. I forgot to write it all down. At number 6 on my list is one that I waited on for a really, really long time because I ordered something else with it that didn't ship until way later to get free shipping. But this is a re-release of a hit release that sold out. This is the Mario Brothers 1-Up set. Now, this is the re-release in a slightly scaled down version of the Trust the Fungus set. So this qualifies as a re-release here by Umbrella. This thing is loaded. I'm sitting here holding, this is probably like 8 pounds sitting here holding this thing. The transfer looks great. The 4K looks great. I didn't do a review of this because a lot of people had done one for Trust the Fungus. I can do one. I haven't really seen a lot of like visuals of the movie if you guys are interested, because this is still available to my knowledge. And Umbrella, when they do these 4K sets, man, they are big, nice, just crazy stacked sets that are heavy. And they announce way far out in the future, almost too far, in my opinion, because if you're needing to pre-order stuff to get it before it sells out, it's very hard to keep up with it when it is 4 or 5 months out ahead of time. Because there's just so much to buy. If you're having to pre-order that 4 and 5 months ahead of time, and then other people are putting stuff out too, it's very hard. I kind of wish everybody wouldn't do more than 60 days out, because if you say, well, I'll wait till I've got the money to buy it till it gets a little closer, it may be sold out. So it just puts a lot of pressure on you to pre-order way in advance, and maybe you don't have the money yet. But if you wait, it's gone. And that's what happened with Trust the Fungus. So I was glad they did this re-release here for the 1-Up set, because my son's a huge Mario fan. He had never seen this before, and we got to watch this together. I watched it to review, but I think it's going to be a completely different look at Mario for him. But this 1-Up Mario Brothers set from Umbrella comes in at number 6 on my list, and it is like a brick. All right, now we're coming into the top 5, and this is one that when I saw that it was being re-released, I put it on my community tab. I jumped out there because a lot of us missed this. I think this was like this was like a blockbuster, a Best Buy steelbook that was way out of print. And if you wanted to buy it, you were looking at $100 easy on eBay. And I am talking about The Lost Boys. This steelbook is baller, and I restuck the. It has the little glue droplets that hold on the J card, and I restuck it on there because my box that I keep my J cards in got put in the attic with Christmas stuff. But there is the 2-disc set. There is a Kiefer Sutherland in there. As far as I know, this is the same transfer that we have on our other 4K releases. It's just a re-release of this steelbook, and I think maybe it's kind of going in and out on Orbit. I'm not sure about Diabolic, but if this is one you missed out on the first time, it was like a godsend for them to re-release it, because people were price gouging the hell out of it on eBay. And this is my favorite vampire movie of all time, one of my top 25 favorite movies of all time. I really wanted this steelbook, and I was able to get it. I was so pumped for this release, and I shared it with everybody. They're only noodles, Michael. But it is a nice looking 4K, very punchy color, and just a fun ass 80s movie. I was so psyched for this re-release. So it comes in at my top 5, The Lost Boys steelbook. Go grab it if you still can. Now, at number 4 is one that is a re-release, but they did add Dolby Vision to this over the other 4K releases, and I am talking about The Karate Kid. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Of course, you guys know that I'm friends with and worked with Martin Cove, his son Jesse, Sensei Kreese. I love this VHS style slipcover, and like I said, they did add Dolby Vision to this. This is the only Karate Kid, as huge of a fan as I am of Karate Kid. This is the only 4K I own. I do not own the others. I do not own that 3-movie set. I tried to buy it 3 different times from Amazon, and every time it came, it looked like somebody had stomped on it, chewed on the corners, everything else, and I sent it back. And so I just gave up on it because it was an expensive set, and not like a little ding, like rats chewed on it and somebody stomped on it with dirty work boots all 3 times. And I even notified Amazon. So when this came out, I was super excited. And you've been able to get this now since then for like under $20. My hope is that they do all 3 movies like this with 4K re-releases, add that Dolby Vision to them, and do the VHS style slipcovers. Now, I wish they wouldn't put this shit on the front, because I'm going to have to take a hair dryer and get this off. There was also some new commentary and deleted scenes that were added to this over the other release. So I'm fingers crossed that they're going to do all 3 of them like this. If not, eventually I'll have to backtrack and get that set somehow anyway. Because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan. And then knowing Marty and all that, that's very life-changing. So this is a huge, important movie to me. This looks incredible. I don't have the non-Dolby Vision version to compare it to, But this looks incredible. I mean, this is the way to watch The Karate Kid. I love the VHS style cover, though, man. That just hits the 80s heart in me. And it was actually hard to put this low. But like when you get to these top five right here, all five of these transfers, these restorations, I prefer to call them restorations, are so damn good. It's splitting hairs. And until I think the top two though stand alone. And it was very hard to split them up. But Karate Kid, I absolutely love this re-release. Hope they do them all this way. Comes in at number 4. At number 3 on my list is Return of the Living Dead. This steelbook, phenomenal. I have done reviews of this. I have done side-by-side comparisons. I've done examples. I've done video, pointed things out. I think everybody who follows me knows how I feel about this movie. And this 4K restoration is just mind-blowing how good it is. The detail, I've pointed out again and again. You have to check this out. If you haven't, check out my video. If you're on the fence about it, if you can still grab this. I was so taken with this, I gave one of these away at my 5,000. I think it was my 5,000 subscriber celebration live stream. I gave one of these away because I think everybody should see it. It is that good. Of course, I have a Blockbuster box sets that to protect the steelbook. I really like to protect my steelbooks because despite the name, steelbooks are super fragile and easy to ding and dent. This to me, this is the definitive version of Return of the Living Dead because I love the steelbook. This is a 3-disc set that you have in here. Steelbook looks awesome. I mean, just pops off of there. And I love the movie. It's so much fun. It is. I probably watch it at least twice a year. At least twice. Because I'm going to watch it around 4th of July. It's a summer movie watch for me, but I also end up watching it in October at least once. So Return of the Living Dead, just a phenomenal 4K restoration and release. And it comes in at number 3. And number 2 on my list is one that could be easily number 1 because the problem here is these next two, really Return of the Living Dead too, but there was something more about the way these two were shot that allows them to take the next level. These next two are two of the best 4Ks I have ever seen, regardless of genre, regardless of who puts them out. And a lot of that, too, has to do with how they were filmed and what they were filmed with and all that kind of stuff. I hesitate to even put one at 2 and one at 1. I almost want to just talk about them together. So just think of them as both number 1s. But next up in that case is Demons from Synapse. This is another one that has made a lot of lists for me. I struggle as a filmmaker and someone who's been a cinematographer and editor to understand how they, on such a limited budget and amount of time, they shot inside of a movie theater with such breathtakingly perfect lighting. It boggles my brain. This is one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. This 4K restoration is incredible. Of course, there was another release of this by Synapse that was like a collector set with Demons 1 and Demons 2. And Demons 2 looks great as well. But this one is just one of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. So it has to be on the list of best re-releases. The reason that I nudge it down under number 1 is just presentation and artwork. It's just standard. There's not even a slip cover. There's nothing with it. So if you're looking at things to pick nits on, to try to split hairs, when it comes to presentation, packaging, and artwork, number 1 is way past this one on that. But as far as like visually, they're on par with each other, and they're two of the most incredible 4Ks shot cinematography of practical effects and stuff that I have ever seen. Period. The end. So Demons, go back, check. I've reviewed this before on its own. I've pointed out a lot of things. Check out my videos on that. Just search Demons in my homepage search bar, and it'll take you to those videos. But Demons, incredible. Comes in at 2/1A on this list. And number one, I just got this yesterday and watched it immediately. Actually, it's being replayed on my TV over there right now. My buddy Brian did a review of this, and I really want to do a side-by-side review of this and the Vinegar Syndrome release. I'm talking about From Beyond. Yeah, it's that good. It is that good. Brian and I had a discussion about the film stock used in this. Like the colors, the visuals, everything in this movie are literally just mind-numbingly breathtaking. I mean, it's the same way. It even steps above this. I think maybe the cinematography is probably better in this movie, but this movie, the visuals, the color, the lighting, and the film stock that they use. Like, I went into a deep dive to figure out what Stuart Gordon used on this, film stock wise. I couldn't find anything specifically for this, but I did find films where he commented about a certain Kodak film stock that he liked, and it was used on a couple of his other movies. So I'm guessing when I read the characteristics of it, it's probably what was used here. And because film stock, you guys, had its own characteristics. Some leaned cooler and flatter. Some were more punchy. Some had more highlight detail. Some blew out highlights more. Some were good for underexposed and overexposed. They all had their own characteristics. So you had to know that when you went into filming too. You had to light for those characteristics. You had to shoot for those characteristics. It's kind of like playing the wind. If you're kicking a ball or golfing, like, or whatever you got to do, like, you got to take into account the wind. So to hit it straight, maybe you got to hit it more this way so that it goes straight, because you got to play the wind. That's how it was with film stock. You had to know and be comfortable with it, because you couldn't do infinite retakes. Film stock was expensive. You pay by the foot. So, but this release, it's the same transfer as the Vinegar Syndrome release, but as Brian pointed out, and you can see yourself on Blu-ray.com, this by 88 Films is a 100 gigabyte disc, where the Vinegar Syndrome release is a 66 gigabyte disc. Now, it may mean nothing, right? But I have watched it, and to me, there's just ever so slightly a difference in this. And it may just be that extra 34 gigs of breathing room. So if you have extra 34 gigabytes of breathing room, you don't have to compress it as much. All right. You have another 30% space that you can make a bigger encode. So, like, for instance, when I shoot, like when I shot my movie on a DSLR camera that was 2.7K, modified for 2.7K, and I edited the movie together and exported it uncompressed for them to make a master out of with the distribution company, it was like 254 gigabytes. And that wasn't even shooting in 4K. This was shot with 35 millimeter, which has an ability to exceed 4K with its resolution. So you could imagine how much of a huge file they can make for a master that is completely just lossless, uncompressed. So the less you have to compress it down, the chances are, and it's going to be diminishing returns, y'all. Like, the naked eye is not going to pick up on every single thing, but an extra 30% space for compression can make a little bit of difference. Maybe the color punches a little more. Maybe the grain isn't as, prevalent. Whatever it is, it can make a slight difference. And just the clarity, Brian's right. The popping around the eyes, the way the color pops out. Y'all, it is batshit crazy how good this is. And then this artwork is incredible. Okay. It's not often that Vinegar Syndrome, I'm a huge Vinegar Syndrome fan. It is not often that they get beat on artwork. When it comes to From Beyond, they got beat on artwork. This artwork is so badass. by 88 Films, or whoever they got to do the artwork, is so badass. And you take this off. This is a nice glossy slip on here. And then inside, this is more of a matte finish. I don't even think this does it justice on here. And of course, you got the beautiful Barbara Crampton in her dominatrix outfit. But if you flip it over to the other side, you've got her, in her other look as the doctor. And, of course, Jeffrey Combs and Ken Foree in there. And then you slide that out, and you have yet... there's your artwork again. And I haven't checked to see if this may be reversible here. Yeah, this is reversible. You have the other artwork as well. So this is a hell of a release right here. You also have a poster in here that's a matte finish. You have some art cards in here. So this was a gift from an awesome channel member, Sako, aka Sticky Wicked. And brother, I appreciate it because this is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. This is my favorite foreign horror movie, Italian horror of all time, right here. Demons. I've lots of big stories with demons if you look back. But I saw this when I was young, and then I didn't see it again until earlier this year when Daniel over at Cobwebs was telling me I need to rewatch it. And I fell in love with this all over again. It's rocketed close to the top. It's like in my top. It's in my top 15 horror movies probably of all time now. And it sent me down the Barbara Crampton rabbit hole again. I started remembering. I was like, oh man, Chopping Mall, and of course Reanimator and stuff. And she's super sexy and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And this thing is so crisp. It is just a phenomenal release. And I would say that the presentation of this with the artwork and everything gives it the nudge as far as re-releases over Demons. But both of these are these are both two of the best 4Ks I have ever seen. And Vinegar Syndrome's up there too with this. They are two of the best 4Ks that I have ever seen. You can put Return of the Living Dead close to that category, but but the way these are shot lift them up over like Return of the Living Dead and stuff. So these two just absolutely phenomenal. But From Beyond, 88 Films rocked it on this. They rocked it on American Pie. Of course, American Pie was not a re-release to my knowledge. If it is, then I messed up and it should be on this list. But I didn't think it had a 4K. So it is that damn good as well, and it'll find its way onto my other list of 4K releases for the second half of the year. So, but From Beyond, 88 Films killed it on this. Loved it. 10 great releases. 10 like not just great releases and great 4K restorations and transfers, but like 10 movies that I love, like absolutely love. So, great films. And great releases, and I felt like they deserved their own category. If I mixed up and some of these didn't have another release, you guys let me know, but I'm pretty sure they all did. I checked on it. If there's some others that I missed that could have been on this list, let me know about that too. I hope you enjoyed this. We do all kinds of things here, lists and rankings like this, 4K news, physical media news, 4K reviews, all that stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective, the occasional rant to set people straight out there and protect this hobby and this thing that we love, physical media, and preserve this art in movies because, man, once it's gone, it's gone. So it's up to us to pass that love on, protect it, and fight to keep its place here in the world. And if that is all kind of stuff that you like, please like and subscribe, y'all. It really does help out the channel. If you want to help support the channel, get your name in lights, get special access videos, all kinds of stuff behind the scenes of my filmmaking, all that, great extra videos. You can become a channel member at my Patreon below at the Patreon link or right here on YouTube. And it helps the channel so much and you get a lot of cool perks and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.